he's 30, 40, 60, 70, or 80. Barack Obama has a background that doesn't show me anything about an understanding of international affairs, the real threats on the international scene, that radical extremism from terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas present to us, or what we need to do to respond.
Do you think, if I may follow up, that he would be too accommodating or too hesitant to stand up to a fight? What's your instincts of his manhood in that sense if he had to be commander-in-chief?
Well, I'm not saying it's manhood, but many people might at least have read about Chamberlain in their history books, the leader of the British Empire who went and cavilled before Adolf Hitler and said he's come up with an agreement with Hitler that will bring peace in our times. Well, that just gave Hitler the clarion signal to go ahead and move forward. Dean Acheson told the Chinese and the North Korean that we weren't worried about South Korea. And the North Koreans, backed up by the Chinese communists, moved into Korea. When you try to negotiate and you don't know what you're negotiating about or the strength or the dangers of the people you're negotiating with, their capabilities and their intentions, then you can make some very serious errors. And this is not a question of manhood. This is a question of understanding international and military affairs and the threats to our nation's security.
Hi, Mike Reynolds. How you doing?
Hello.
Are you comparing Barack Obama to Neville Chamberlain and his foreign policy and national security positions to appeasement?
I don't know all of the things that Neville Chamberlain did, but I can tell you that Neville Chamberlain's efforts to appease Hitler are very much what we're hearing from Barack Obama when he says he wants to meet unconditionally with Ahmadinejad, when he believes the United Nations can handle the problems with Russia. He doesn't realize that there are times when, even though military action is a last resort and we ought to pursue diplomatic efforts, that there are times when we have to use that because there are evil people in this world. There are evil leaders like Ahmadinejad, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, who will not listen to reason, will not be won over by diplomacy. And we have to have not only the resources, the great men and women we have in our military, with the great equipment they have, but we have to have the willingness to stand up and say, this is beyond negotiation, and this is where we have to fight. That's why I cannot understand why Senator Obama continues he's been trying to get a deadline to pull out of Iraq without realizing, apparently, that pulling out of Iraq before the situation was stable would lead to chaos inevitably to be filled in, because I can tell you from the intelligence that we picked up from Osama bin Laden and his number 2, Ayman al-Zawahiri, they're waiting for us to pull out when they can move into the chaos and establish their caliphate, their ruling government, to begin the battle for the Middle East and ultimately to take over the United States.